All right, how's it going? I'm Brenden Robertson. My trade name is BERA. I've been an audio engineer since I was in high school in the early 2000s when I launched my first company. Today, I have a wedding and concert venue in Athens, Georgia, but I also freelance and do audio consulting and all this kind of stuff. Today's video is all about what's in your reverb collection. I'm going to filter it to Pro Audio, and we might have to dig around a couple other filters just to get all of the pro audio stuff on there. But let's go ahead and jump in and take a look and see what we got. All right, so let's filter this pro audio. All right, first up, we've got the Behringer U4. This is my, kind of to go interface. If I want to hook up a test mic or something in a room, I'll take this with me and just plug it in. And also, sometimes I'll just use this with my PC for video calls when I want to set up an external mic. Moving on, we've got the Audinate analog ins, analog outs. These are cool little converters. They give you two channels of analog XLR over Dante. I like to hook them up to analog audio equipment in the studio and just get them recording. My studio's got a couple of different structures, so I have hard lines that travel out to the other building, and I can connect via Dante if I want to connect a couple of things together. But also they travel well, so if you want to take them onto a gig and patch into the Dante world and give it an in and an out, it's there. I've also set those up so that I've plugged them into an ISA1 preamp before. That allows me just basically to turn the ISA preamp from just a preamp, and it's got the mic section, it's got the DI section, and it's got the listen back section through an analog aux input. But with this, you can actually set it up so that the aux input receives the bus, digital busing from your DAW and use it as an all-in-one interface with headphone control and mic control and DI control. So that, like I said, the Dante AVIO is superb for hooking up some analog gear to a digital world. Love it. All right, moving on. We've got Focusrite Octa Pre Platinum 2000s. This I've had one without the AD converter for a long time, since probably 2005, in my first kind of like recording rig. So I still have it here. It works. It might be just holding on by a thread, but once you get some signal going through it, it actually does work. 8 channels of preamps. It's got a fixed compression knob on them. Low cuts. 2 of the channels have phase inversion, and there's an expandable ADAT card for them. TC Electronic M300. This is something I've also had for forever. This is just a stereo effects unit. It's got 2 engines in it. I use it in my analog rack just to mix in some digital effects in your analog world. Audix TM1 omnidirectional test mic. This is the test mic that I take on gigs to do spectral analysis on rooms. It's not a bad sounding mic if you use it in the studio for something that sounds flat. It's an omnidirectional pattern, so you're not going to get any points of rejection on it, but it'll still do the job in a pinch if you need a condenser mic sound. Rode K2 large diaphragm. I've had this mic for a very long time. It's just a large diaphragm tube mic, but it's multi-pattern, which is super helpful. I've used this as a studio mic for a long time. I also used it as a live mic, as a room mic in a club for about 5 years. One of my old clubs. This was just kind of like the room mic over the dance floor, and at a equilateral distance from the speakers, just to get some ambience and some speaker sound for live recordings. Right now, this picture that you see right here is mounted to the ceiling, and it's over it's a mono tube overhead for my drums right now in the studio. Moving on, we've got the Yamaha HS8s powered studio monitors. I've had these 8 years now. I like Yamaha. Yamaha products are usually the best sounding stuff you can get for the money across the board. Octava MK 012-02 small diaphragms. I've had these forever. They came in cases just like this. I think I got a pair of them for $100 special on Guitar Center in 2005. So can't beat that. They do sound great. They've got removable capsules. You can change those around. I don't have any of the special capsules, just the cardioids and the pads that you see pictured. Those are kind of also holding on by a thread, but love them. They're great. So they're 20 years old now. Next up, Shure 57. You got to have that in the studio, right? I have two 57s that are modified, and what I did was I removed their transformer inside this handle, and then I soldered it back together. That I don't necessarily recommend doing that mod. What it does is it takes the 5K bump of the EQ curve out of the mic and flattens it, but it also coincidentally changes the sensitivity of the microphone, so you can only use these for super high output sound sources. Usually they get a little extra noise in them naturally from having to gain it up. But I had a pair of like junk 57s that I thought it'd be a good idea just to play with, so that's what I did. Moving on. What's up? Alneath Mix Wizard. 16-2. There's a couple versions of this mixer. I still have this. To my right here. To my right here is a Alneath Mix Wizard rack. I have it in combination with a patch bay, digital effects rack, stereo compressor, and some preamps. It's just a central analog hub where I can use EQs, summing, parallel compression, and effects side chaining, that kind of thing. Right now, I'm summing like 2 kick mics, panning them to one side, and 3 snare mics, panning it to the other side, and then those travel through. They also on the aux bus get on the aux bus they get parallel compression through using an aux loop. So I send whatever channels I want to go to the compression through the aux sends 3 and 4, and they go out to a stereo compressor unit and then come into a stereo channel pair, panned left and right. Now, when I send them, I can send them discreetly to either the 3 side or the 4 side, and like decouple the stereo left right sides, and that way I'm running the parallel compression decoupled from the stereo image or stereo inputs. This mixer is a workhorse. I've taken it all over the country and beat it up pretty bad, but everything still works great on it. It's fantastic. It's got built-in effects on it, and it's got 6 aux paths on it. It doesn't have any like fader grouping other than left, right, and mono. So There's nothing too like advanced for the busing on this. And then the key thing to remember on this mixer is you get your first two aux pair are pre everything except for gain on your channel, so they don't send EQ pre. They don't send any EQ changes down the line through their sends through their aux masters. Also, 3 and 4 will not unless they're in post. So you switch those to post. Actually, 3 and 4 do. 3 and 4 will send post EQ sends, but they're switchable pre or post on the send level. So they could be pre fader sends or post fader sends, but they're always post EQ on 3 and 4. And then you got 5 and 6, which is just always post. All right, moving on. Digidesign gear. At one point, at one point, I was just buying really cheap Digidesign stuff because I still had an old Pro Tools computer. So I was able to get this like HD 96 rig with some TDM cards and stuff like that. Pretty awesome. Pretty cheap. At the time, I could afford it. It took, I don't know, they were like 10 or 15 years old, and then I could finally afford them. Let's see, we've got a Sony ECM99. This is an Electret stereo condenser. I've never used it. It came broken. The capsule inside of it is the capsule is fine. It's a dual capsule, but the mounts holding the capsule in their XY pattern broke either in shipping or was sold to me like that. So I've never used it. I'm still waiting to fire up a 3D printer and figure that out. Also, I've got a Telefunken TD26, another vintage microphone. Never heard this one either. I needed a different adapter, or I got to cut the cord. I'd rather not cut the cord. I'd rather fashion an adapter for the connector on it. Redco 196 D25 PG, 96 point tiny telephone patch bay. This I use coupled with my analog rack, and this just brings all of my analog gear together in the studio. Somehow I don't have that much gear, but it's easy to fill this thing up between the mixer and the interface and a couple of pieces of outboard. What else have we got? B2 Bomber by Burl. This is a mastering grade converter. It's 2 channels. What this really is a gain stage, and it allows me to push whatever signals analog into it, and then I can attenuate that down and just kind of push hot transformer sounds through everything. Mine has a Dante card on it. I also use it as the primary word clock for the studio setup. Antelope Orion Studio Synergy Core Thunderbolt audio interface. This is my primary interface here. I love it. It's got 12 onboard preamps, and we've got an ADAT preamp set up, and we've got the Burl adding a couple. So we're set up for 22 preamps with this configuration. It comes with all kinds of great features. It sounds pretty good. And one of my favorite features on it is the dual reamp. So I've got 2 reamp channels. One I use as a reamp and nothing's always patched into it. And then the other one is actually a subwoofer signal path down under the bottom of my desk for a subwoofer in the mix. It's good monitor controller too. All right, Rupert Neve Designs RNDI Active Transformer Direct Box. So it's just a nice DI. This one's a single channel. This is my preferred DI channel. Next up, stereo version of the same thing, Rupert Neve DIs. I love this thing because it has a switchable aux jack on it. So you can get a stereo in through an aux cord or the quarter inches. I've never had any fuss with any of my Rupert Neve DIs or gear. Love it. I did see one piece of Rupert Neve go down once. Very important piece of gear in line. That's a different story though. All right. So Focusrite ISA one desktop mic preamp. This guy is this is a modified version by Revive Audio. Like I said, I had the Dante converters set up with this. I didn't own the Dante card on this. It was like still $1,000. So for $400, I got 2 in, 2 out of Dante that I can connect to anything XLR and line level. So not just this Focusrite, but the Focusrite's a cool little portable thing. It's got variable impedance on it, switchable impedances on it. So you kind of just get different odd and even harmonics kind of set up. Moving on. Rode NTR ribbon mic. So I have 2 of these, one here and one here. A pair of Rode NTR active ribbons is a good thing to have. This, unlike a lot of Rode mics, this one's you don't really hear any of the comb filtering that you would hear on a cheap microphone by itself. It's a weird phenomenon, but something about cheap microphones like large diaphragm condensers, they just sound like they're comb filtering to me. But this is a different style microphone. It's a ribbon. It's a nice ribbon. It's active. They sound gorgeous on acoustic instruments, especially in a BERA. An acoustic piano loves these Rhodes. They're not amazing on high SPL like guitar amps, but at a distance or an attenuated guitar sound, they still capture a great sound. They're also great for voice. I have a pair of Rode small diaphragm M5s. These are actually really good for close miking drums. I've got one on the snare top, and I've got one inside my kick drum. Yeah, I'll tell you how I got this inside the kick drum. I have a non-ported kick head, but what I did was with the tom mount arm that goes vertical, I removed the end cap off of the bar and actually dropped the mic down inside of it. So it's just hanging inside the kick drum, and then I have an outer kick mic. Audix D4 hypercardioid. It's good tom mic, but it's good for other things. I have mine as the snare top. I dig the Audix original D mic series. This D4, the D4s to me sound like a 57, but you get a hypercardioid pattern instead of a wide cardioid pattern. Here's my other Focusrite Octopre. This one I bought with the ADAT card on it for super cheap, and it works perfectly. And this is my expansion preamp for my recording rig. The Heil HM Pro Plus. These are miniature size dynamic mics. Originally, I bought them for snare top and bottom. I still use the bottom one right now, but the top one has been replaced by the Audix D4. They're fine. They're lightweight, so you can put them anywhere. And they're fine. Just regular old dynamic microphones. Let's see. Antelope Edge note small diaphragms. These are used currently as a pair of small diaphragm overheads for cymbals. I will mix these like extremely bandpassed just because I don't, they're not picking up like really good mid-range sounds, I don't think, but as far as some sizzle on the brass, it's getting that pretty well. I like that. So just bandpass like crazy. Below that is an Octave MKL 2500 large diaphragm cardioid tube condenser mic. You can pick these up pretty cheap, and they're also super lightweight, so you can hang them anywhere. A pair of these as overheads, probably not a bad idea. Probably works great. I use mine to mic up a keyboard speaker cabinet. I have a vintage Bassman 100, which is a 412, where all of the speakers are pointed in a trapezoid or pyramid shaped baffle, however you want to think of it. And I just have it kind of right in the middle, picking up all the different speakers are kind of like intersecting and summing right on it. It sounds fine. Sounds good. Takes SPL. It's clean. There, I do really like the lightweight feature. Octava mics are good. Shout out Octava mics. Onyx D6. This is my single kick mic of choice. So if there was only one kick, just put the D6 on it. It's pretty good, ported or unported. I mean, totally different sound, but the mic will do what it's supposed to do and capture the low end and capture it well. This is a poor picture, but BERA Dynamic TG D57Cs. These are a new release. I think from, was it last year? New release. I have 4 of these. They've got a great spring mounted drum clamp. So they clamp onto drum heads really well. I've actually clamped them onto guitars really easily for acoustic guitars. And other acoustic instruments, like you can somehow just like clamp them either around the body and the neck joint. Not so difficult. But they are gooseneck small diaphragm condensers, and I think they're giving Shure a run for their money with them. I think they're brand new. Each of them is like $150 or something. But I like the sound of condensers on my toms, so this does the job quite well. 4 of them for 4 tom mics. Usually take 2 or 4 of them on a gig with me wherever. They're just nice and easy. Under that, we've got a Neumann TLM49. This is what I'm speaking into here. I do really like this mic. As far as Neumanns go, this one's warm. I guess it's got the 47 type capsule on it. It doesn't have like a bunch of like transformer or whatever other circuits in this part of the microphone. It's more so just the capsule going to maybe a couple of resistors or something and doing its thing. I dig it, man. I was doing a gig with Ricky Skaggs, and this was his mic of choice for the mandolin to pick up acoustically. So I just thought, what the heck? I'm going to get one, and it'll be a companion for my other Neumann, and we'll see how it goes. But I like it on voice. I like it on acoustic instruments, and I like it going through my Neve strip. So below that, we've got the Triton Audio FET head germanium. This thing is just like an inline little barrel that you put on your mic cable. It works for dynamic microphones. My preference for this is 57 on a Fender Deluxe. I came to love that by accident. The first time I plugged in this FET head, I didn't know what it did, so I thought, okay, I'll put my headphones on, I'll plug in a dynamic mic, and I'll speak into it and plug it all in, and my voice will tell me what the characteristic is doing. And I didn't really get anything but kind of like dirty tones out of it, and I didn't really understand it. I was like, oh, maybe it's not worth it. But then I just tried it on my guitar signal, and I loved it. Uh, on one of my Mod 57s, no transformer. This thing is a perfect match for that. It comes out like a finished guitar sound. I like it a lot. Under that, we've got a realistic reverb microphone, 1980s gold. I bought this for fun. I've never really used it. Just waiting for that moment. It's got like a karaoke echo chip or something built into it, so it's just a fun mic. It just echoes. You could switch the echo on and off. All right, Kush Audio Electra 500 series EQ module. I haven't used this yet. It's still sitting in a box right there. We're gonna unbox it at some point and check it out, see what we got. Looking forward to that. What else do we got? We have okay, so here's all the 500 stuff grouped together. We've got the Kush Audio Electra. Down here, we've got the solid state Logic 6 channels. I've got a pair of these that just came in, and they're mounted into a Radial Workhorse 3 slot that's horizontal into my recording rack. And so now we're going to be full in the Radial Workhorse with two kind of like all-in-one strip units and one extra EQ unit. Looking forward to that. What else have we got? We've got the Rupert Neve Designs Portico 2 channel. I love this channel strip. I use it for everything. Right now we've got the Neumann TLM 49 going through the Portico channel strip with some processing going on in the EQ, de-essing, compression, and high pass kind of thing. This is my main channel strip. Now that I have an additional EQ, I'm going to try and the two different EQ units I'm going to use in mid side with some bus mixes, and I'm really looking forward to how that'll turn out. Just should be good sounds. Now, last but not least, we've got my Neumann U87 AI, the tried and true, expensive, industry standard, gotta have it. I barely use mine, to be honest. But, there will be that day when I want maybe to put two Neumanns into these two solid state Logic strips, something like that. That's it. All right, let's close this thing out, shall we? Thanks for watching. If you'd like to check out some audio tools and level up your audio game, you can go to BERAsolutions.com. Over there, I've got I'm selling my IP and also have giveaway stuff. So you can download a couple of things for free, like my, the free event producers guide checklist, free version. I'm working on the paid version. We'll see how it goes. The other stuff that I have on there, I've got like the Neve Red Silk Saturator and the Neve Blue Silk Saturators emulated onto Logic Match EQ. Those are also free. So please check them out, BERAsolutions.com, and thank you for watching. All right, have a good one.